the YouTube video. Okay, so today the plan is to continue on with adding in all this error handling to the BBECS. And I think once we have the error handling in, there's really nothing stopping us from deploying this to crates.io, requiring it in as an actual, crate from crates.io in the flocking ECS simulator, and then figuring out what our next project is going to be. I don't know how far we're going to get today with this. There is a lot of places for us to add this error handling in, but it should also be relatively simple to do at the same time. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear. So if we remember last time, we ended by adding into this trait. We put in the result, and our error is actually in here. So we have a single error. We're using this error to create the error itself, and we're using error for the result part. So we have this one message. It's pretty cool where we can say, okay, we're trying to cast a component from something to another thing. So, all right, back to here. We're getting tons of errors now. We were getting tons of errors. Oh, we're getting it in entity data now. I could swear that I should be getting the errors in here, right? Yeah, because you're... Come on, Rust Analyzer, restart. I could swear it was actually showing all the errors before. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is what I want. I wanted to see. Is all of these errors showing up right here? It's because we're supposed to be returning this result, but we're returning just the numbers themselves. So we really want to return an okay result here. But we have a bunch of these, and they're all very, very similar to each other. So what I want to do, we did this first one sort of manually. I want to come and see if I do cast mute. Oh no, not that many. Okay, just down to there. So then if I just go down by 2, go to the front, then we'll do okay and close. So if I hit save, that should take off half of these. And based... Okay, so there's that. Now we want to get rid of this panic. So go down 2 more, home, and remove this, and we're going to return an error. An error, and it's going to be this BB ECS error casting components. We have to have a from. So where is this coming from? It's the I guess it's just components. Oh, it's string, right? Now, this would be interesting. What if I were to make this an actual, part of the, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. I wonder if I could make this instead of the string, I could do maybe the type itself, where I can just pass in components, and they would figure that then I can actually print out what they were. That might be a little bit too much work, but it might not also. I don't know. All right, so if we do 2 also in here, this is going to be 2 mutable. See, this is cast. This is wrong that I have here. You're a vec of something. So I actually want to come all the way up here. Copy you and back this. Okay, that should take care of that. We need a .toOwned. Okay, so that gives us this casting components, and then the big thing that we learned last time is the casting components has to be a .into to turn it into the appropriate error. And there we go. That should be good enough for us. All right, so you're happy here. Now, what about the rest of us? Oh, so we still have cast, but the rest of it we can see here is happy. Okay. Now, if I wanted to actually have, if I wanted to put what these are in here, we have point, F32, color. So I think debug works on color and mesh. usize, U32, but point would be me out. Oh, I actually have debug on here already. I wonder if I need to like implement something else. So if we come back to our errors. What if I were to say that this is like a component and this is a component? It's not yelling at me. There, it will yell at me here because I'm not actually doing the thing, but then I can say, okay, self is just self. Expected components found, mutable reference to components. So I guess I could clone. Oh, except I need to copy and clone here. Okay, I won't do copy. I'll just do clone. Then, okay, so that would work. And then we're gonna go to, and this is gonna be a components. Where are we going? We're going to point. Which then we have to actually put something into it, which is gonna be an empty vector. All right, that should make that happier. Dota 2 Attitude, hello, good morning. Oh, you screwed up. NAT gateways are pricier than expected. Oh no. Oh no. Can he dispute the charges with a, I didn't know what I was doing. Please, like, you know, the equivalent of like returning. All right, so now for all of these where I have this like from components to owned, I wonder if I can just like, yeah, okay. So I could just multi-line this, and we're gonna do self.clone for this one. That should be pretty simple. Now this entire bottom one is gonna be a little bit, maybe a little bit tougher, but perhaps not also. I see we already have this like point F32. Here's what I can do. I can come up to here where it's this points. Let's go home. We'll go to this point, copy that. Home. No, oh no, I lost it. I lost it. Okay. Let's try this again. So I'm gonna go here. All of these. Here, I'm gonna come up to here. Home. Copy you back down to here. Home. All right, so I need to make sure I don't do whatever I did last time. So that's going to be a okay. Select with that. Now we want to put in the components, whatever that thing is, and then an empty vector. And that's it. Oh, I have an if let in there. I didn't want that. Home. There. That should be good to go for you. All right, yeah, so I think that's going to work out. So now it's going to yell at us and tell us exactly what we were trying to go from and go to. Next up, cast. Dota 2 Attitude, were you using like AWS NAT gateways, or was like DigitalOcean or one of the other ones? All right, let's do. So I want to do this over and over again. So function cast self, but I don't want to do it over there. So I'm going to do like to this point. So that's all of those. I'm going to come down. You become an okay. There. Okay, that should be good enough for you. Then we're going to do our air. We're going to come back up. Copy you. Home. Oh, I think what I can do is Shift N. That's what I want to do. I did a Control Shift N, which went to the end of the file, which is not what I wanted. Okay, so we're going to return an error. The BB ECS error testing components. From is going to be our self.clone. 2 is going to be this thing with a vec inside. Like that. And I think we're good to go. And there shouldn't be any. Oh, there's still more errors. What did I do wrong? The final thing. The into. There we go. No more errors, but we have full, really nice customized error messages now, which is really nice for this file. Chantilly Cake, hello, good morning, happy Sunday. Okay, so we've got that. Now it's time for us to just handle all these errors, like just make all these errors go away. And once we have these to sort of taken care of, as it were, then we can start moving down to the next one. So we did mod, and we'll fix all of this stuff everywhere else, and then we'll just move on down until all the files have error handling in them. Okay, so this is in entity data. We're trying to push into points. So we have wrapped components, and here we see that we have this points result. What I think that I want to do is, for these entity data traits, we need to return that error. So where is this? This is entity data traits. Okay. We need to return a result, but it's going to be this error result with nothing inside. Like we're not actually caring about returning. So if we do that, now for all of these, oh, that also got that one. I don't want to do that. Let's just do one first and sort of like see how it feels. So this is you first. We get this result right here. I need to question mark you. That will send it on up. Is that? So that gives us a result right here. Cast mute returns this result. Yeah. Oh, wait, we need to fix you. Oh, yeah. Hold on, let's just grab you. And then for each, this is enter, right? Yeah. For each of you. Oh, this won't let, oh, because it's data point. I need to do this. Oh, that's too many. Okay, there. They're going to come to the end and throw in. Nope. Throw in a result with that. And now you're just yelling at me that you're not doing the thing, right? Yeah, implicitly returns nothing, which it shouldn't. Okay, so at the very end, to fix the implicitly returns, we're going to return that. But I should really do that as part of like a multi-line. And then so let's make sure that works for you. So that should make you go away. And then you are still going to have this problem. And if we question mark you right here, you go away. So that's what I want to do. I want to do that across all of these. So we're going to multi-line from this point. Okay. We're going to come down to the cast mute. Question mark you. Go down one. Turn it okay like that. All right. No more errors here. All right, save. What is next? Expected mutable reference, found a result. Okay, so cast this wrapped accelerations, cast mute. So we have to decide what we're going to do here. Inside of the flocking simulator, do we want to handle the errors and like question mark them and send them on up? Or do we want to just sort of unwrap them at this point in time? I'm thinking we can just unwrap them at this point in time here. And then our next project, maybe we can think about how to better handle them. Okay, so for each, what are you yelling about? Because we have a cast, we need to unwrap you. So every time we cast, we have to unwrap. Okay, and that's everything in this file. Now, the same thing here. Okay, so other locations that cast, we need to unwrap you. Okay, avoidance. Reed Rayner, hello. How are you doing today? All right, that's this file done. Draw birds is next. So this one, we must return a game result because of fun reasons. Oh, you're just going through the Rust book today. Awesome. I hope that you have a great Rust adventure. Ownership. Oh yeah. And I think the book is so much better now, I think, because Rust has updated quite a bit. There's less little nitpicky things that you need to learn because the compiler just sort of handles it. All right, what's next? Handle arena edges. Okay, so we have wrap locations. All right, so then this, unwrap you, wrap you. So what the unwrap is doing is it's handling the error, as in it panics if there is an error. But then that error will get displayed to the terminal. So that'll be fine. Okay, so then this is update locations. So every time we cast, we have to unwrap now. Intermute, enumerate for each. Okay, so the locations, because I forgot an unwrap here. So that makes you happy in this file. Oh, it's easy when your ADHD gives you a break. I suppose that's nice. All right, let's do okay, so we have cast mute, unwrap here, unwrap here. And then we're good to go in this file. Then visualize. Okay. Unwrap you. And that's it. No more errors. We do have some warnings. Let's make sure we handle all of these too, because some of these warnings are saying, hey, you have a result and you're not doing anything with it. And we really should be doing something with it. So I notice here we have this with component and we're trying to return this. So I think that all of these should return. So we have the world methods. Let's go ahead and update you. So this is with component. I want to make sure that you return a result, which is an error result that then has a mutable reference to self in it. So, and you know what? I can do this all together at once. If we do, okay, so name. So we have to do that. Go all the way down here. End. Result. So it's an error result. There. That should now be yelling at us that, hey, we're not actually doing the thing. We're not returning. No. Okay, hold on. I didn't do it right. I almost got there. I got to like here. Oh, it's because this has a What's my current mission? Is it merely adding proper air handling, or have you done any other changes to the design? Right now it's adding proper air handling. So I've done like the basics to get it to where I kind of want it to be. I would need to like now make another game or simulation with it, sort of like see what the next step needs to be. So now it's proper air handling, so I don't, before it gets too far. And we're making sure we're learning how to do it properly so that next time we build something from scratch, we do it properly from the beginning. Okay, so let's do this again. Wait a second. We have errors. Why do we have errors? Okay, we don't have errors. I just needed to save. Okay, so we're going to do all this. Create a bunch of term. Okay, so we're going to go to the end. And then I'm going to use control to go left all the way. And now, oh, see, look, we're at the right hand side of this at. Oh, that's not right. Let's go home. Go this direction. Okay, that was... Okay, now I'm in a correct... Yes, now I'm in... Okay, so we can do a result with error result. Take you off. Go to the end. Go left one, and then close. And that should... When I save, everything should have aligned back properly. Okay, good. So now you should just yell at us saying, hey, you're returning this like this self in here. I still have all these in here. I think we could just go here. Okay. That should make you happier there. I don't know why you're all upset. That makes this happier across all of these. Okay. So that's good. Now insert, it returns a result. But I guess I don't need to worry about that too much. All right, so what's next? What's our next problem here? Oh, what? Oh no. Ooh, okay. So you are, okay. I think that fixed that. There we go. We're good to go now. All right, next up, with component has this result that's not being handled. Hold on. Should be handled. Okay, so what do you return? This is insert into entity data. I may have done that without having to. Let's go in entity data for insert. Returns entity data traits. Returns this result. Okay, so we have this wrap component. Oh, because, okay, we cast mute, we do all this stuff. So really, in reality, we care about coming back here and questioning mark you. Like that. There we go. Okay, so we're just gonna effect. I'll have an extra question mark in one of these, and we'll just get rid of that. All right, no more warnings in here. Okay, so now we have a problem is inside the main library for the flocking simulator. Now it's like, hey, it returns this result. We need to handle that. We need to basically do like a question mark for this. The problem here is we're returning a game result and not a like any other type of result. So we might need to just unwrap this. If we can't do that, it crashes. So unwrap. Okay, so unwrap all the things. And now it's just yelling at me that it doesn't know how to spell this error. So fine. Just the workspace. And no more errors. Okay, so we've successfully implemented error handling for this first like mod file. So let's come back and take a look. So we've done it for this. Let's go into data types. We don't need to do any error handling for you. All right, so for point, we might need to. Let's take a look. Like so far, I don't think we need to for new because the type system should be able to handle any kind of craziness that happens here. To array should also be fine. Okay, so add others, that should be fine too. I don't think I need to do any error handling for this because it just should always work based upon the type system. Okay, so normalize is fine. This is all great. Okay, so I think point is fine as it is. All right, resources. No, don't need that. All right, so then we have you. Resource. Let's go ahead and just unfold everything. So we have these traits where cast and cast mute. We should do the exact same thing here. And if we take a look at our error, we're going to want to do pretty much the same thing here. So it's going to be attempted to cast a resource from 2. So then from, you're going to be a resource, and you're a resource. Casting source. Okay, so then back into here. So we want this to be a result. So take all of you. We actually. Okay, we want you to be a result with the error result type. Okay, save you. That should be fine for all of you. Wait, it would be way down here. Yeah, okay, yeah, it successfully has like added that result in here. And then we have another one that we can add on here. We might as well just do right now is this cast mute. So I'm going to take all of you. I'll do a result. Like that. That should add an, okay, so cast mute now also has this result in there too. So perfect. All right, now we get to actually do the thing. Okay, so here's our impulse for these. Now, I don't think we need any of these methods anymore. I don't actually want to use any of these methods anymore. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete them all. Which I think, okay, so if I delete all those, there's nothing to have an impulse of anymore. We're just gonna have the trait impulse. That might add a lot more errors as they're using the wrong ones. So we'll have to like fix that. But that'll be fine. Now we get to fix all of these. Okay, so we have the cast first. So if let self this thing. Oh, some of these are resource and not self. Oh, that's no fun. But the rest of them are resource. Okay, so we just do it to this one. Here, we'll just rename you. You're a resource. Now, if we do that, get all of you. This goes across the cast mute and that one, so this will be interesting. I don't know if it's going to work out too well. We'll find out. So to begin with, I want to copy you. I'm going to come down to you. We're going to do an OK to you. And then for this else, we want to return an error with the BB, ECS error, the casting. This is a resource from self dot. So we have to clone it here. We don't have clone in. We're going to have to add that in. And then a 2 And that's the resource you. And then you care about something going in here, don't you? Like whatever the thing is. So we're gonna have to like just put something in. So it's gonna hit me. All right. So if I do that, all these errors sort of popping up. Oh, and I forgot we'd come down and do an into. All right, so we need to implement clone here. Okay, so that should help out a lot. Okay, then it's just saying, hey, resource, let's just add in numbers for each of these. Oh, it didn't. Okay, that's not nice. A point, so we need to add in a new point. Like a point default. Oh, because I didn't do the control. Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay, so can I just do that? And use the two different colors. Okay, so you're a mesh. I wonder, is there a default? I don't think there's a default for mesh, is there? No. Okay, so we have to do like a mesh builder. Ooh, okay, so this one's gonna suck because I don't actually have the ability to create a mesh. Wait a second. Could I just let resource mesh? Oh, because it's not it. Like this is what it actually is if we hit this error. So I don't have a mesh that we can use to put in here, which is a problem. I don't want to have to put like an option in that specific one just because for creating it purposes. Oh man, okay. That kind of sucks. I don't think I can. Build takes a context, which is a problem. Okay, so I don't think I can do it for this one. Oh no. I don't think I can do something. I can't do that because it needs an actual mesh. Oh. This one may have to be like just the string for where it's coming from. Oh, that makes me sad. The string would work though, because then I could just say, hey, it's to a mesh that we're trying to go for. Or I can create this like, it's not the best. I could create like an enum for like the resource types that are basically just what these are without the data in them. That's possible also. That also just sort of like sucks. I might as well just use strings at that point in time. Reed Rayner, hello! You redeemed Pet the Cat. Zilpy is not in petting distance right now. Yeah, I don't see him. I'm gonna keep that up for a little bit, and then if he wanders in, we're definitely gonna do some petting of the cat. Let's open up this errors. For this specific casting resource, what we can do is change this to a string. Actually, can I do this? Static stir. Would you be happy? Yeah, you will be. Okay, so then for all of you, 2, you can be just like a U32. You are to a point. You are 2 a what are you? Point as well. Oh, I should probably be more specific. So this is going to be to a reference of a point. A mutable reference of a... No. Oh, I have a to-do there. That's fun. We have to fix you. I think that actually just works. Okay, so then you, okay, point nan that, and you're a mutable reference to a point. Then we have color. So color. Mutable reference to a color. We have mesh. Mesh. Okay. All right, so then both of you, these are going to be resource cast F32, and you're immutable. Then we have U size. You becoming mute. All right, that's all of you. Then at the top we don't need to bring in that. All right, we're good to go with this file then. We've successfully added in, it's going to return a result on all of these things, depending upon what happens. Now we need to go handle all the errors that come about from that. Unfold all of you. Okay, so in impl, okay, so the resource data lens is returning just this point. I want to cast it. I would love to be able to, this is in the resources data. Here's this data lens. I want to be able to add in here. It's going to return this result. This is the error result. And close that out. Save you. Then for all of you, it's this exact same thing. Do a result like that. You're not airing out. Okay, so get result point, which it's not returning, and get mute. Okay, so that's all fine and happy. I think rest analyzer is not happy. This should be filled with red. No? Not unhappy with this file? You're totally okay with me just returning... Oh, because you're a resource. Oh, I get it. Okay. Ooh. Well, hi, Zilby. We got a kitty cat here. Oh, with purrs immediately. but you wanna explore. Okay, we'll let you explore. Oh, you wanted the food that we put down. Hold on, let me put. I don't have a good place for the cat cam, unfortunately, right this second. I don't know if this is gonna. Oh, it just misses. We have a kitty cat cam. And I don't have a good place to put it based on this this plate of food location. But yeah, we have Zilby's our stream cat. We got him in like September or so. He was a rescue, about 10 weeks old at that point in time, so he's over half a year old now. Probably around 7 months or so. It's a little bit hard to tell. He's a domestic medium hair. Do you want pets? You want box? All right. Well, the box we can ship. Such a big table. Yeah, I know. Medium hair cats are like, I didn't realize how much longer the fur was from a short hair cat. I think like the other cats I've had were all short hairs. So a medium hair. Oh, he's wandering off into the closet. Able to see. The problem with cats, and also the great thing is they kind of just wander around. So I'll have to turn that off until he actually hangs out in one place. We do have like the bed over here, and he sometimes does come and sleep in it, but right now he's not really in that mood. Okay, so what I can do for this is gonna be really cool. Oh, we're gonna do like let resource equals self-let resources to get. I noticed that it's this. The get mute one is actually already good to go. So I want to do this just for get. Oh, that's okay, fine. We'll do it one at a time. For you, I want to just do that. Delete you, and that way. It's just like a single line. It returns the result. No need to question mark. It just passes straight on through. And actually, you know what? A lot of these are that way already. So we're already good to go now. Yeah. All right, that's cool. Now we do have these other errors. Let's go and handle these. All right, so this is get resource in the world methods. So get resource. And get resource mute is going to be the same problem, right? Yes. And it's just basically saying, hey, expected the mutable resource, but we found this result here. We need to do something about that. So into string self name s. Okay, so this is all fine. We're gonna come to here, all of these, and we're gonna return a result of that. Okay, so save you. That should actually just take out half of our errors, and then the other half is going to be taken out by this. And magically, that just handles all of our errors because we're already just sort of passing through that result. So it's just bubbling on up into out of the library. All right, so we're happy here. What's next? Mismatch types expected a reference to a U32 found this result. Okay, so now we're doing get resource. That gives us this. Yeah, okay, we need to now. This is now inside of the flocking rust. We decided for right now we're just doing unwrapping for these. because these results aren't compatible with the results that they're returning. Okay, so we're happy there. All right, next one. This is alignment. So get resource. Okay, so unwrap you. Unwrap you. And get resource. Unwrap goes here. Okay. Our avoidance range. Okay, unwrap you, and then down to this turning speed, and unwrap you. Okay. All right, so we're gonna get the bird mesh and get the bird color. Okay, so get the arena size, get the sight range. Okay, this is the handle screen size change. Okay, so get the arena size, unwrap you. Okay, so update the void color system. So unwrap you, and then unwrap you. And so yes, it may feel like we're just sort of changing where the unwrap happens, and in a way that's true, but also we're moving it from the library. So now each of the simulations or games or whatever that uses the library, it gets to choose how to do it. The library doesn't dictate for it. So now the library just chooses in this case, I just want to crash. All right, so no more errors. We're good to go with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and close all of these down. Where were we? So this was resources. We just added those in. Let's come back down to resource data. Let's figure out what this is. So we have the resource data lens with get and get mute. Okay, so new, that shouldn't really cause a problem. Inserts, resources, insert into here. That also shouldn't. Should it cause a problem? So if you insert a resource, they're not returning any. So it's going to return an option with whatever previously was there. But I think we're okay with just overwriting it. So I think we're fine here. We should probably document that. So inserts a resource into internal storage, overwriting any resource that had the same name. Because there are definitely reasons you want to replace something. Okay, so we have default, and then these already have the results added in. So we're good to go here now. So that's resources data. Okay, entity data for the world. Insert already has a result on it, so we're good to go there. This is just how we're storing all the components. Okay, so we have register. So register basically takes, it creates a component based upon whatever is passed in, and whatever is passed in, it then inserts it with the name and the components, and it has to be one of these. The type system will prevent it from working otherwise. Okay, so I think that's fine. Okay, so query 1. All right, so query. This is going to be interesting because if we query for something with a name, we're going to get this back. Or at least we're saying, we're doing this unwrap here. That's a problem. What we probably want to do is return an option based upon what we get out of this. So I want to actually return an option and then the rest of this stuff. And I think that's actually what this returns for us automatically. Yeah, an option. But by doing that, we have to handle that now. Okay, so in mod for the world, we want you to be an option. That will make you happy. And now everywhere where we're getting this out, we are now getting this option. So query 1, this option that then we try to borrow on. So we can unwrap new to sort of like handle that. So locations wrapper. That's because we're okay. So everywhere we're querying 1. Unwrap you. Unwrap you. So no more problems here. Here's another query. And here's another query. Okay, so here's your first query. Here's another one. I think that's it for here. So basically, wherever we have this query 1, I'm going to go to the end and unwrap. Okay, handle arena edges. All right, so this is okay. Query 1 is not going to be quite as easy here. If we go here, okay, we can unwrap you. Or maybe it is just as easy. All right, so then this is update locations. All right, so lots of queries in here, but it's all one-liners. This is fine. We can do the same thing. Update rotations. So here's a couple query 1s up here. All right, more. Oh, this is the only query inside of here. So in visualize, we only have one query and it's going to be at the end here. No problems detected. Okay. So we just did entity data, I believe. So query 1 here. Let's continue looking on down. Okay, then we have all these traits, and I think we already put results on these. So we should be fine here. Yeah, okay, so we're good there. Mod. Okay, so this is the world. So we have our world methods. We have result here. So add resource, get resource. Okay, so it's just add resource, and the rest of them have results. So I want to go see what add resource is really doing. And you need you as a comment. Add resource. What are you doing? You're saying self.resources.insert. So telling you insert, and then this entire thing. Named into, and then the actual resource. So if I go back into here, you're not, so this is in the resources data. You're doing an insert, self-dot resources, dot insert, which comes into, oh, that's not what I want. It's a hash map. So we do an insert of the name and then the resource. Resources is this hash map. Okay. Right. Yeah. So okay, that should work just fine. Now add resource. Yeah. Okay. This is just gonna work with the. Yeah. I think this will be fine. So I don't think we need to worry about it too much. So everything else here has a result. If we look at just the import world, we have register. With register as a new name. And that's gonna be fine. Spawn entity, return self, that should be fine. And then query one does return an option. So then I think we're good to go here too. We have our errors, which we can add to now if we need to. And we have the main library, which does that. And that's it. Everything here is good to go and happy. Let's make sure it actually works. We haven't run it yet. So we're gonna go into the flocking rust. Cargo run. And here we go. We have our flocking simulator still working just fine, except now with errors and options, which is actually really nice. This is running in debug mode, and it's running with 100 of these entities. I think I can go to 500 in release mode the way that it's written here. There's other things we can do to make it like a little bit better, but I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. Epic Bark, woot indeed. Okay, so I want to save all of this up. So we're in BBECS. We added air handling. Gonna push you up. And then what this means is that we can now just merge that into master because we're good to go. So up here, we're going to merge you into master and push you up, and then we can just delete those other branches. Where are you? Delete. And delete. And that we can do the same thing with flocking rust too. We can basically say, okay, we staged handling errors. So basically just panicking when the BBECS library returns an error. Returns. Okay, so I can push you up, and then we can do the exact same thing. We can now just merge you into master. Push that up, and then we can delete these. All right. Everything should still work exactly as expected. We're now just in the master branch. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, which means also we can take this ECS issue that we were working on, set up proper error handling, and this is done. So I should, how do I close it? Status, closed. All right. The last two things, set up a CI/CD workflow for auto deployment and deploy to crates.io. So I think we want to deploy to Crescendo like just once manually at the very least, and then I can sort of set that up. So what do I need to get that done? Inside of BBECS, let's give it a version number, proper version number. So for cargo for you, 010, I think that's fine for what we have right now. We're definitely gonna be adding more. And algebra, we're not even using you, so I don't need you at all. The rest of this is just fine as it is. By doing that, we shouldn't have any problems. Has to recompile. Okay, there we go. Is there anything else that we need? I think what I need to do is like a cargo login. Please paste the API token. Okay, so I don't want to do a cargo login in this window because then you all will see it and that would be terrible. So what I want to do is take a different window, maybe like this one over here, and I'm gonna CD into ECS, cargo login. I'll go ahead and run this so you have something fun to look at. Oh, I'll need some more package fields. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done this, so I can't remember. It yells at me though, right? Like it will tell me what I need to do. So if I do a cargo login, it wants me to, so I'm gonna copy you over here in this browser, go to that page. I need a login here. Login with GitHub. Where's my API? So API access. Oh, I have to create a new token. I can't look. So I have this old token that I created the last time I did this, but I forgot it. So new token name. This is going to be Windows Streaming Token 2. Oh, yeah. Okay. So copy you, paste you in. Good to go. Okay, so I should be done now. Okay, cleared the screen. So even if I expose that, then I want you to like not be on that page anymore. Good. Okay, so all the pages, the token is no longer up somewhere. Let's go ahead and see what happens if I try to deploy this. We're gonna do a cargo. I believe it says you need license, categories, keywords, description, or something may be recommended. Let's see what happens. If I do cargo, I think it's deploy. Let's see, cargo publish, cargo publish. So I do that. All right, let's see what happens. I know it builds. I know it also checks like GitHub. Okay, so all dependencies must have a version specified when publishing. Dependency BBS does not specify a version. Wait a second, I'm in Flocking Rust. That's the wrong one. Yeah, no, don't want to be in here. I want to be in. I want to be in here to do the publish. Okay. All right, so warning, manifest has no description, license file, documentation, homepage, or repository. One files in a working directory contain changes that were not yet committed into Git. Okay, so that's just a warning, but we should still do that. So description. Let's fix that. So we want a description is, okay, so this is going to be a ECS library for Brooks builds projects. not meant for like public use. Shouldn't. Let's see. I actually have that in the README, so maybe we'll just say like ECS library for Brooksville's projects. Oh, you know what I can do? I can say like made live on Twitch at okay, so I could put that in there. Work in progress. Well, the thing is, like, even when it's done, I don't really like it's for me, right? It's like it's for all these projects that I'm doing. If anybody else wants to use it, I'm perfectly happy with that, but I don't want anybody to think that I'm going to be like adding features that are better for their projects rather than mine. I don't know if it makes sense. Okay. Let's do this again. So we have no description, license. License is next. So license equals, I think I can just do like MIT. I think that just figures it out. License file, I think I can skip if the license is one of those ones that like are auto figured out, like, well, MIT. Documentation. The documentation I want to use is just like standard documentation, so I don't know how that works. Homepage, oh, documentation, homepage, or repository. I do repository. Yeah, I don't need documentation. That's what I figured. Then I want to come back to here. We're going to hue, and this is that. All right, so if I save you, and we try to run you again, that we still have that error, and I understand. I just want to make, yeah, okay, so no more warnings. So we're good with that. All right, error, one file and working directory. All right, that would be our cargo.toml file. So let's go ahead and figure that out. So we just updating for deployment to crates.io. Now, if I just commit this, but I don't push it up, I'm actually really curious what, I think it should say that it's not pushed up. I'm a little bit sad about that. The reason, like, there's some security concerns with this, which is the version that is deployed to GitHub could still be different than the version pushed to crates.io. Because I haven't pushed this up, but it's still compiling and preparing to build and send up. That's something that like is actually a pretty big problem in the Node.js, like JavaScript land. All right. We have this, we have BBECS. So if we come over here, we'll go to crates.io. Don't even have to wait. Here it is, new crates right here. I have that part there, and here we go. So it's 4.58 kilobytes. Add the following line. Okay, so we're good to go. Boot again? Yeah, absolutely. We've had no downloads. That's fine. Okay, so what this means though is, in close you, we're gonna open up the cargo toml for flocking Rust. And instead of this BBS where it's like the path to the local file, we're gonna say, oh, I was hoping it would figure it out. I think it's 0.1.0. And car back to you. Now with blocking Rust, we recompile it from 010 and we're good to go. No longer sort of working with the local system changes, which is really nice. So we're good to go there now. So back to here for open issues, deploy to creates.io. This has been deployed to creates.io at and to here. Oh, you know what I can do? I could just say use some markdown. All right, so add the comment and you're closed. All right, knock 2 issues out. The last one is set up the CI/CD workflow for auto deployment. So this one's a little bit more interesting because it required, like, I have it stored on Git, so we can use GitHub Actions for this. It's a little bit of a pain to set up, and I've done it only once before for Rust projects. So it does take me a little bit of time to remember exactly how to do it. That being said, I do have this knowledge wiki that I've been sort of trying to keep up to date. Let's go ahead and head on over to my knowledge wiki, which I think, which one is it? Is it, I think it's the one that I have. Yeah, okay, it's my personal one. So I want to come to here. No, not my work one. Here's my knowledge wiki. It is knowledge wiki, right? Oh, it's knowledge.wiki. So it's not knowledge-wiki. It's knowledge. I need to clean this all up. Repositories. It's knowledge. This is the one. So we're going to head over to wiki. And I want to look at GitHub Actions. All right, so here's what I have. Create a directory called GitHub Workflows. The workflows will go inside as YAML files. Okay, so easy enough for this. Let's close these two. So inside of BBECS, we're going to create a new folder called .github/workflows. And then inside of that, a new folder called workflows. All right, the workflows will go inside as YAML files. So for example, this is an example Rust YAML file for this. This is the name, they'll show up at GitHub Actions. Okay, so I can just take this entire thing and copy it. Doesn't matter what I name this. So rust.yaml, I guess we can have multiple of these files. Put this in there. All right, let's take a look at what we got. This is the name that shows up in the GitHub Actions interface. So Rust. So I think we can do like build and deploy. When should this GitHub action run? So what's the name of our branch? Master. Okay. Master. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have build and deploy. Oh, and pull requests we might want. So I don't actually want this to run on pull requests. I just want this to run on a push on branches master. So I probably want something like test then. Hold on, let's do test first. So we're gonna do test. This is pushes. I want to do it on pull request to master, and I don't want to do it on push to any branches. So I think just that. What environment variables to use? Yes. Okay. So cargo term color. Okay. What the jobs are going to run? Right. And there is the ability to use like secret, which I think is this type of thing. No, there's somewhere else that uses secret. I don't remember where how to like reference those. We might have to go look at the documentation. Okay, so this is going to be install the packages. Oh, runs on Ubuntu latest. That's fine. So this should be like test. So install packages. We're going to sudo. We have to install all of this stuff for GGEZ to work. We're going to use this cache v2, which has never worked for us. It's like come close, but never actually worked. Okay, so check out the code. Uses actions RS. Okay, this installs Rust. We just want stable, but we also want Clippy and Rust format. Then we're going to have the check formatting. Cargo format check. Don't try to fix. Is GG a pure Rust project or is it a wrapper over non? It's a pure Rust project. It's one of the reasons I like that. I like it. It is a pure Rust project. There's only a few of them that do that. Okay, so then we check Clippy. So then we tell Clippy to do everything. So very, very strict with a Clippy. Name, test, cargo test. So then we run all the tests. Oh, we might want to like double check the tests. We have some of them, but I don't think we have very many. And then build, cargo build, release. By doing the build part of it, it's then also making sure that like, hey, it can build properly. So if I were to like run this, cargo test, for example, we have no tests. Cool. That's wonderful. It still passes and works, but we'll probably want to add some tests in. We can do that as part of this. Okay, so if I do this, it's just going to be the name test. We can do another one for the deploy part, which is going to bump the version and like deploy to creates.io, theoretically. Okay, so I'm going to close you. We're going to setting up GitHub Actions for testing on pull requests. And then after this, I should really switch over to a pull request systems where I pull request my own stuff into it for that like testing purposes. Okay, so I sent you in. Now I have this GitHub Actions. Oh, I guess this doesn't really give me the status of them. Which, oh, that would be so nice if this showed me like the status of the GitHub Actions. Oh, that would be great. What we can do is we can head over here. We're going to go back to builds, BBECS. We're going to go to actions, and we see here is this test. No runs yet, so we need to actually do a pull request in to get it to work correctly. So let's test that out. I'm gonna create off of master. I'm gonna create a new branch. Let's just like add some tests. Maybe let's see. Start from the top. Is there anything in here that we want to add in? So This is like casting components. I don't know if there's anything else I really need to test inside of here. Like the type system should handle most of this. It's like when we're casting mute. Documentation test. We can do doc tests for this. That could be helpful. So components. So we can these components are used to store. Okay, these components are used to store data into the world. Each of the components contains a vector of the appropriate data. Of the appropriate data. Generally, these, let's see, generally, consumers of this library will not need to call components directly. However, the methods attached to components will be used to extract the data. Okay, so then in here we can add in, so cast the components to its contained data as long as it is really a point. Okay, so what does that mean? We can now do a test here. So this is just markdown, so we can do something like that. Actually, notice that I now have this run doc test. So what does this mean? I can actually just write code inside of here. So we can just do like let like my locations equal to this cast mute. So I need to make it immutable. Let mute locations equals components. You are a point. A vec. That. And then let like, this is actually a wrapped locations. Locations is equal to the wrapped locations dot cast mute, like that. And then we do have to unwrap it because it returns this result. Now, let locations, we really need to say that this is a type, mutable reference to a vec of point. So I'm actually curious if this is going to run. So let's run that. Failed. Okay, so why did it fail? Failed to resolve use of undeclared type or module components. So notice that it fails here because even though components is right here, I need to bring it into scope, I believe. So use components Do I have to use something like crates? Like create components? Oh, I guess, okay. I guess it could just be create components. I don't remember. And then it should yell at me about the next one. So can I do cargo test now? Okay. So running one test, line 28 failed. Oh, no components in the root. So in live.rs, we do have, oh, it's components. I think it's components like that. Unresolved import. Oh, BB ECS. Okay, so it doesn't want me to use that. It wants me to do that. There you go. Okay, so that was what I needed to do. All right, so I need to import components, and then I also need to do use BBECS. Now, inside of here, we need, I think, data types, which gets us to point. Okay, so we need data types. Then inside of there, we have point. That. Okay. Okay, so cast method is not found. We also need to use in components. We need this cast components. So not just components, but you also need you. All right, and doing all that, these tests pass. So we have free documentation now built with this. And this documentation is, so if I do a cargo doc, just go ahead and open it in a browser. It'll probably open the wrong browser, but we'll see. We'll see. It's going to build the documentation locally, and then this is going to be part of this this cast components. We're actually going to see that, and it's guaranteed to run because it actually runs. Like whenever you push these up to creates.io, it runs all the tests and makes sure that they pass. So it's actually a really cool system. It's one of the things I like about Rust with documentation. Now this is also creating the documentation for everything, so I can get it offline, which is another nice thing. It does take a little bit longer than normal compilation because there's a lot of docs in it. I think documentation compilation is a little bit slower. That being said, you do it once and then you're good to go. While we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and update you. So created a single documentation. Oh, you've been wrapping all your doc tests and functions. Oh no, yeah, it's not needed at all. I think they sort of like they namespace it or whatever. They do some magic with it. So I don't think you absolutely need to. Although a lot of times people use your stuff in functions, so maybe it can be helpful in that way. Yeah, I don't think you absolutely need to. So create a single documentation test for testing. Tests in GitHub Actions. All right, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna push this up And then as soon as this push up, I'm going to do a pull request into master. So let's do a starter pull request into here. This is testing GitHub actions. So create the pull request. We can go ahead and view this on GitHub, which took you to the wrong browsers. That's cool. We can actually see that this is running now. Now this does take a while. Like I'm not paying GitHub at all for this. It's an open source repo, so it will just be nice and happy as it goes. And if we come back to our code while this runs, it's finished. Okay, so this also opened up yes, in the wrong browser. So let's come back to here. So here's my local documentation. So if I go to components, here we can see this is that sort of doc type that I added in, the general, like the 3 slashes documentation, and then in cast components. It's not for that. It's in components. Oh, do they not show for the individual functions? Variants. Oh, they don't. Okay. They don't show for those individual ones. It's a little bit too bad that I don't see the documentation here. So I guess doing it in traits for that is not the best place to do them. But if we come back to here, we can see, what is it doing? It's it just did all the install step. Okay, so it did install the packages. It set up Rust. It checked the formatting, and we're fine there. It's checking Clippy right now. So it has to install Clippy, which I thought it already installed. It's checking all of these things. I wonder if there's a way for me to set up Clippy so it only checks like my code. Interesting. It's checking literally every piece of code. Even not mine, but like the libraries that I'm using too, which I guess it's good to know if it fails. Okay, so that finished. So Clippy is fine, and then it's going to run the tests. So this is going to be that one test that we created. It's got to compile everything and run. As you can see, this is not the fastest system because it's got to compile everything so many different times, which already compilation is not that fast. But I suppose it's also safe, and it lets us know that it's good to go because it's really compiled that many times. I don't think it needs to do this. I think it's less of a Rust problem and more of a GitHub Actions and how they're set up problem. That being said, I haven't learned enough about GitHub Actions just to create my own that does all of this for me. So that might be another thing to do in the future. Okay, so it's compiling those, and then we should get to the testing part. There it goes. Okay, so it tests. Everything ran just fine, and then we're gonna have the build. So this one is build release. So I've been told that building for release mode is a great test because sometimes you can make it where all the tests pass, Clippy pass, everything else passes, but it still can't compile for release mode. So having that test in there actually can be really nice to just let us know, hey, everything does indeed work. All right, and so once this works, the assumption is it will. This will be good to go, and what we can do is come back to our pull requests, take a look at this, and we're gonna get a green check mark as soon as that's ready. So what would I need to do to set up a push to production when that's done. So that's going to be inside of this GitHub workflows. We have this Rust YAML on here. We're going to create another one. So I want to actually just rename you. This is going to be basically like test. And we want this to be like a deploy. What did I call it? It was knowledge. Okay, pull you back in. Okay, so in this one, we're not gonna, let's see, on push, so it's not gonna be a pull request now. It's gonna be a push to master. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We should still do the exact same test that we have previously. And I think all of this stuff that we have like set up over here, we can just take you and copy you. Having this like into its own GitHub Actions where I can just pull it, similar to what I do with like this uses, that would probably be best. Okay, so if we do that, we do test, and then, oh, this should not be test. This should be check and deploy. Maybe we could just call this deploy. We're gonna do that. So we're gonna run all the tests that we did before. We're gonna build it for release. Once we have that, then I want to do a name deploy to creates.io, run cargo publish, like that. Now, problem, I can't cargo publish without logging in first. So I wonder if there is a GitHub action that we can just find. Everything worked. Okay, that's cool. GitHub actions, like creates publish. Huh. I don't know why this is not dark mode. Like everything else is in dark mode. You're not. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so use manifest, checks version. Checks that no changes happen since published release when version of internal dependency is not changed. Okay, this is gonna be nice. All right, so inputs is token, the GitHub API token, the path. It says path to create or workspace. Okay, args, exit arguments, registry token, the cargo registry token, and then if we want to do a dry run. I actually wanted to do like the real one. We could do dry one for like the beginning. Okay, so basic usages, we're gonna do check out our tool chain, we do that thing. Okay, so then it's going to do this uses creates with that. Okay, got it. And here's the registry token, so we can add in all these other things too. So we're gonna do this uses instead of name with registry token goes in there. So we have this secrets cargo registry token. So I need to over here in my completely different window that you're not able to see. I need to open up you. So inside of, so in Brooks builds, BBECS, settings. Okay, where is it? Where are you? Okay, not security. Not options. Not integrations. Deploy keys? I feel like that's not right. Actions, no. Oh, secrets at the bottom. Okay, so I can now do environment secrets. So before I add these in, here's what it looks like. Is I'm gonna have like these secrets, I'm gonna put in environment secrets, repository secrets to match what I have right here. So what I would wanna do is like for environment secrets, just for this environment secrets probably, that way I can create a new token just for each of these. That way if one of them gets lost, accidentally exposed, the other one should be still fine. So back over here, I'm gonna do an environment secret, new repository secret. So name is gonna be this. That's my secret name. And then the value. So I have to go back to Chris.io, go back to account settings. We're gonna create a new token. I'm gonna name this GitHub Actions BBECS. Copy you, paste you in, add the secret. Okay, so that gives me this here. Okay, so you're hidden now. I want to also just take something and copy it randomly. I also want to tell this that I want to do a dry run set to true. Okay, so then I want to do a dry run true. And that should attempt to publish it. And then I think everything else should be fine. I don't think it needs the GitHub API token because it's going to do the thing that we have here. Okay, so let's try this. I'm gonna come back to you. Okay, so you're saved. Let's update you. So we have deploy and test. We're gonna be dry run of deploying creates.io to deploying to creates.io. Save you, push you. By pushing this, this should start the check again. You can go to details and see it's got to run this test again, but now we have this entire deploy on push. It's only running the test, not the deploy, which is great. That's exactly what we want. And then we'll sort of see what this step is going to be. By the way, when you're about to publish locally, you could run cargo publish dry run followed by cargo package list to see what will actually end up in a crate. This is good if you want to make sure the crate doesn't accidentally contain something unintended. Oh, really? Let's try it. Since we're waiting for this entire thing to happen, let's do a cargo publish dry run. I guess we could just do an and cargo package list, and then that. Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll do it one after the other. Let's do a dry run. Yeah. Oh, semicolon. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking like, oh, Linux. That would be so much nice if we could just do like Bash or Z shell or any other modern shell. I never bothered to like truly learn PowerShell, so I'm not a power user of PowerShell. This won't take very long, anyways. It's already done a real one, so. And this computer's pretty fast when just normal ones. P.S. Hello, Oscar Ellen. All right, so we have that up, aborting uploaded. I'm kind of surprised it didn't tell me that, hey, you've got the exact same number here. So I guess it's not checking that. So let's see. Now we look at list, I think. It's not cargo package list. All right, so now we can see. Oh, nice. Okay, so get ignore, cargo tamil, all of this stuff. Yeah. All right, this looks all great. That's really cool. I like that. Thank you so much for that information. How are we doing here? It's still doing a test. I mean, it's almost done with the Clippy test. You know what? I realized I could have done the push. Well, I guess I want to test it like that it automatically does a push from an acceptance of a pull request. So this is probably for the best. But oh man, it always takes forever. That being said, once this is set up, then like we're just good to go, and we're gonna be happy. All right, okay, so those tests passed. We're good for that. Gotta do the entire thing again. Now, is this where the cache is really helping us? Because like the compilation does feel pretty fast here. Maybe it was my misunderstanding of how the cache worked. I sort of assumed that cache was between different runs, but maybe it's just within the same run, it's using the cache over and over and over again. So it's much faster. In which case it is working just fine. Is it almost there? There's so many different libraries that everybody uses. So looking at this so far, it's 6 minutes, 16 seconds, 6 minutes, 20 seconds or so far just to get to this point. And then there's going to be the deploy. That would mean for each push to deploy, it's going to be like 10 minutes or less. It's a long time. That's like at the edge of what you're supposed to have at the max. And this is like not a large crate either. Now, it might be a little bit too... I might be a little bit too, like putting too many things into one action. I'm not sure. All right, so there was GGEZ. Usually my stuff is right after that. Does paid up GitHub accounts give you access to faster build farms? That would be really nice. I don't actually know. I would expect that it would. It should. This feels like to me though about the same. Okay, so we're good here. This feels about the same complexity or like speed as like Circle CI or something like that. So that's not bad. Okay, so we're gonna merge this into master now. Confirm the merge. Okay, so that goes in, and now we can go back to actions, and now we should see this deploy happening. And complete failure, like immediate failure. Cool. So what happens? This first one, you have an error in your YAML syntax on line 49. Great. Okay, what did I do wrong? Oh, uses with, oh, with was supposed to be down here like that. Oh, okay. I actually want to switch back to master. Let's stash this here, pull these changes in, pop the stashes out. Okay, so then this is just that. So we can see that it attempted to run. It did attempt to run this this action. Right when we did the merge, merge. So that's good. So I wanted to test that out. Now I have to make sure it works. So okay, so deploy, fixing GitHub Actions YAML file, and let's just go ahead and do a push, and this should now do a dry run if the YAML file is correct. Okay, so here we see this running. Oh, I named it Rust. This should probably be named deploy or something. All right, so we can just sort of watch this happen. I am going to go up and get some water while this is all running. So I'll be back in just a second or minute or so. Before this finishes, definitely. I am back. And yeah, the mic is still working too. All right, how far did we get? That was a 4 minutes break. Okay, we're in the build phase, aren't we? Because the published crates is the last one, is right next. So just in time to see the result of this. Well, I guess we probably still have a couple minutes. So Epic Blarg, well, I'm not sure if you can pay to get faster compilation time. I do know somebody who was working on, like, they had an open source project, and they said that their compilation time for like creating binaries and auto deploying them for all like Mac and Linux and Windows, they were doing that in GitHub Actions, and they said they used up all their free credit time, and they had to like pay to get more time for running. So it's also possible it's less than it's fast, and it's more of like you pay for time. I've certainly never run into like that problem, but I also don't have a popular anything on GitHub, so I don't use much time. I mean, this actually feels decently fast for like an online service. Like so I have at work we use CircleCI. We also use Amazon AWS like CodeDeploy. And both of those like are about this fast, and we're paying for them. So this is probably about right. But Sylvie, you done? You just come down here for food and leave? All right, let's just put that over there. So we're in the master branch now. So what does this mean? We can look through what other stuff, like, what do we want to add tests to? Oh, we're in compilation of BBECS, so we're close. We're very, very close. So we have documentation for you. Data types. We probably want to care about this. Okay. It seems package BBECS modified since 0.10, so new version should be published. Okay, that's really good. So I was wondering about that. I was wondering what was going to happen, like, if I didn't bump the version number, and it looks like it errors out. It doesn't like actually try. So it searches for the cargo packages. All right, so it's pretty smart. It's a lot smarter than cargo publish. So if we come here, I'm gonna go to we're gonna bump you to like 0.111. Let's add one more test. We're gonna add a test, and we're gonna start thinking about the next version, like the next project we're gonna do. As long as one has other things to do, waiting 10 to 15 minutes is no biggie, in particular if it's free. That is true. Okay, so data types, point. Okay, so we can definitely document this. So, so basically, point that stores an X and Y, F32 X and Y, with methods for manipulating a point. So it's basically like a vector. So point that stores an F32 X and Y with methods for manipulating the point, uses vector math. It's also like vector / matrix math, math for the methods. Okay, so we just want to do that. Okay, so implement. so ways that we can do like our testing here. So we can do testing down here, or we can do the testing as part of the. And did I have to implement default ourselves? No, I do not. So default is almost always going to be like a 0, 0, like 0.0 for this. Let's see. Okay, so we could do this one. So this is going to be creates an array of the point with x being the first element and y being the second. This is mostly useful for working with GGEZ. Let's see, GGEZ GZ points as they can cast from arrays. So then we're going to do our testing here. So we're going to have we have to do like a use. So use ECS data types point. They're going to do let. So we can do something like let location is equal to. What is that going to be? A location is going to be a point new like 15.0, 7.0. Doesn't really matter. So we have that. Then I want to assert equal the location, and then this to array. Then I want you to be equal to 15.0, 7.0, like that. All right, so if I run this as a doc test, passed. Okay, so that does work. So all right, so this basically documents how this should work. And then if I look this in the documentation, let's actually do a cargo doc. Binks Twitch, hello. Yeah, this is my doc, so we're gonna wait for this to rebuild. In the meantime, we're in master branch. Let's go ahead and add you up. We bumped the version, right? Yes, we did. Okay, so now this should auto deploy. Added documentation for to array on point and bumped version. Version. No, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care. All right, so then up here, see you running. Okay, so while you're doing its thing, you're done. Means that we can now come back to this documentation, hit refresh. We've got the brand new stuff here. So let's actually go to point. And here's that documentation. Here's what it looks like inside of here. We can say, okay, use this. Let that, and then the assert equal. I can't like run the assertion here in the browser. It's not that type of documentation, but the idea is that just to get to this point, to see this documentation, I know that this code must run. So that's pretty nice. and I can hide all that stuff too. So it's all nice and good. And there we go. I think this is going to work out just fine. What we can do is sort of leave this running and add some more tests in. All right, so we have two array set up here. We have add now. So this is going to be adds another point to the one being called mutating itself. So what does that mean? That means, so use ECS data types point. Okay, so we're gonna have like let oftentimes the way this works is we'll have like a velocity and a location, so we'll do that here. So we're going to do let mute location is equal to a point new. We'll make this 0.0 0.0. Then we're going to also have a let velocity is equal to a point new with like a 1.0 and a 2.0. Then we're going to do a location dot add and a reference to velocity. And then we can assert equal our location because we do have partial equal on here. So we can do that. And then we're going to have a new point. Which is going to be we expect this to be 1.0 and 2.0. So that should then work. We should be able to run this doc test and it should be happy. All right, we're good to go. All right, so that's add two perpendicular left. So create a new point that is perpendicular to the self pointing towards the left. All right, so what does that actually mean here? Let's do this. So okay, so oftentimes we cared about this from like the velocity. So we'll do a velocity is equal to point new. Let's do like 10.0 and 25.0. Then we want creates a new point. This is going to be the perpendicular to the velocity. So like maybe like, what would that be? It's like that. So it's sort of like left velocity. It's equal to velocity dot to perpendicular left. Okay, so then we're going to do our assert equal. Left velocity, and you are equal to a new point. All right, so what does that mean? We discovered earlier that this is what that means. It's basically the y becomes the x. So the y becomes the x. So that's 25.0, 25.0. and then the x becomes the y, but in a negative. So it's going to be negative 10.0. And that's it. So that should be happy here. All right, to perpendicular right is actually going to be pretty much the same as this test, except, well, obviously to the right. So creates new points that is perpendicular, pointing towards the right. It's pretty much the exact opposite here. So if we have this velocity 1025, this is going to be to perpendicular right. Now we're going to assert equal that this is going to be right velocity. It's point new. And so what we see is the same thing happens, except it's the opposite negative. So it's going to be the negative 25 and a positive 10. And you should still run. Excellent. Okay. All right, we have multiply a scalar, a single number, by the x and the y mutably. So what does that mean? So multiply multiplies the point by a scalar, which is a single number, single F32, and mutates itself. And really what that means is like multiplies each the x and y by a scalar. So it just brought in. Okay, so then if I want to do the test here, ECS. Did it? Ooh, it's running. Wait, it ran. Okay, what happened? Warning, skipping exec cargo publish in dot due to dry run true. Skipping awaiting when BCS 11 will be awaiable due to dry run true. Okay, so that worked. Excellent. Okay. So then in that case, I should be able to take this deploy out. We want to turn dry run off. So I think at that point, this will be fine. Let's go ahead and finish this test. Okay, so use BBECS. Data types. Point. We're going to create like it. This one, oftentimes, like you're setting it to be smaller. I don't know if this really matters. So let's just do something like let our point needs to be mutable equals a new point. Let's do like 1.0 and 2.0 and do our point dot multiply scalar. And we'll multiply it by 10.0. Assert equal. Our point is now going to be equal to a point new with a 10.0 and a 20.0. All right, so that should run also. There we go. Okay, so we've got enough tests here. Well, not enough tests, but we've got some more tests. All right, let's go ahead and update these. So we're going to update deploy to not be a dry run anymore, and our point has all these tests. So real deploy now. Also added some tests. All right, so now we can push up to the master branch in actions. We've got this running. All right, well, we're just gonna keep on adding these tests while we're waiting for this to sort of like finish running and to actually do a real deploy, which will be really nice when if it happens. So, all right, multiply scalar. Normalize the point, which makes the hypotenuse equal to 1. Okay, so normalize. And this mutates the point. So normalize the point, which makes the hypotenuse equal to 1. Well, that's how. Normalize the point. Rex Roof, rating with a party of 11. Welcome, 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 Rex Roof and Raiders. How was your stream? What are we working on? Hello, hello. Yeah, how was your stream? What are we working on today? All right, so I want to go into get the streamer game. It was good you're working on a weird project to move your camera around in OBS based upon where Tmux panes are. Oh, nice. So you don't have to like move that around and, block things by accident. Oh, that's pretty awesome. So we're going to play a quick game while everybody's sort of like getting settled in here with, we have the Get the Streamer game, which is something we play every single time that we get rated. So do a cargo run release mode in here. It's something you all can play through chat to get me, and I'm going to try to avoid all the things you're going to throw at me. Let's see. We'll see if you ever get it working. I sometimes feel about that with my projects too. Attitude, hello, you're back. You're just in time for the Get the Streamer game. Oh man, I almost got hit there right away. Oh, get the oh no! Oh. I sacrificed a hit point to get a heart. That was not worth it. Oh, come on. No! Too quickly! Alright, we can play one more time. I died really fast on that one. Did we make that? Yes! We made that live on stream quite a while ago, sometime last year. It's made in Rust and GGEZ. Oh, thank you! Thank you! Let's try it. Let's try it one more time. Let's see if I can last a little bit longer. Inspiring you to make your own version of it? Oh yeah, absolutely. You definitely should. And if you do, let me know and I'll be happy to come over and like play it. All right. Wait, what? It did not give me my heart. Okay, now I get the heart. We made it so that the random command doesn't actually give a random chance for, like the equal chance for, hearts. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, don't run into the fire. Okay, one life. Oh, okay. Couldn't. Same amount of time, but there was more going. Great job, everyone. Epic Blarg with the most points this time. Yeah, I think it's also like a fun post raid thing to do too. Sort of like get everybody chatting, say hi to everybody, give me time sometimes to be able to read chat while I'm doing it. I'm not super great at that yet though. I die quickly, as you can see. I have gotten a lot better. It used to be that I would die within seconds of playing, but now it's a lot. Now I'm better. And waiting for CI to finish. That is also true. Also waiting for CI to finish and auto-publish this crate. Is it just you, or is that game getting more difficult for you? We keep winning a lot. Yes, it is. It's not getting more difficult for me, but also like the difficulty level changes, right? Because the more of you there are, like the more chat is, then the harder it's going to be, because there's just so many commands. And I don't have anything to like limit the number of commands you can do. So as long as Twitch allows you to send a command in chat, like you're not timed out for, you know, spamming too much, then you run into that. I run into like way more people. Like I think our biggest one, we had like 100 people in here at one point in time, and a lot of them were playing, and that was like just insane instantaneous death for me. Or if one of the mods are in here, because mods don't have the same limitations for chat, they tend to spam like fire just across the entire everywhere, and it just becomes a terrible rain of fire for me. Am you a mod? No, sorry, Arctic Space Fox, you are not a mod. Yeah, I know it's crazy fun when it does happen. All right, what are the things we're working on? So for any of you have come in who are wondering like what I am doing, over here on the left, we are auto deploying this crate that we've been working on to crates.io. Now, the crate is an ECS library crate. So if you're not familiar, ECS stands for Entity Component System, and it's like mostly used in game development and like simulation type thing. I don't see it very much used in like business apps for the most part. I have heard of it every once in a while. This is a homemade, like made by myself. I've used ECS systems in a past, like Specs and Hex, but I wanted to create my own so I can make sure like really get a lot of learning done in there and in that space. And then we created a flocking simulator in order to sort of use it. So I can actually show that off too. So cargo run. Here's the flocking simulator. It's got 100 of these boids flying around and then flocking together. This is also created in GGEZ. Let's see. I'm using Windows. Very impressive. Complex wood. Yes, I am using Windows. Although I do a lot of stuff in WSL if necessary, but I can't do the GGEZ thing in WSL because, well, WSL and graphics just don't get along together yet. Like maybe someday it'll work out really well. I haven't figured out how to get that working yet. I used to use Linux a lot on this stream, and I still do. Like my personal notebook is a Linux notebook, but I was trying to stream off of it, and like we got down to like 1 frame per second streaming. Like we just dropped all the frames whenever I compiled. So I bought a desktop. It's running Windows, and it's powerful enough that I can run my code. It runs faster on here while streaming because of the number of cores that I have. So much better. Plus also a really nice graphics card. So therefore, yeah, I just rather use this. And turns out programming on Windows isn't that bad, although I'm not really doing that much. I'm not really doing anything Windows specific. It's just more of the files are in Windows and everything else is through WSL. think you can run an external Windows land and link it to WSL. I can, yes, but GGEZ isn't compatible. We tried a lot of stuff to get it to work. I can run like XIs, and that's pretty much it. Like anything more complex doesn't work. Okay. It ran. Okay, so it compiled and deployed. So if I come over here, here is our BBECS. It's 010. It's 010. If I hit refresh, it's now 011. Excellent. Okay, so this means that I now, whenever I push or like do a pull request and merge into master branch on BBECS, now it will auto deploy. It'll yell at me and fail if I don't like bump the version. So I'll have to remember to do that. But I think this is looking pretty good now. To be honest, there's no use to use Linux if you have a really good specs in your PC laptop. I think the reason to use Linux is tooling, familiarity, and like whether or not you want to run Linux. Like those are the big three things. And like even gaming these days, I would say you need to run Windows if you want to do virtual reality. Like you want to connect like an Oculus Rift or any of the other headsets to play those games. But like Proton, Steam's, I guess like wine type thing, it works really well for virtualization. Once you have the right tool set up, it's not too bad to code to Windows. It's getting things going in the first place that sucks. Yeah, I agree with that. If it's in a VS ecosystem to start with, it's trivial. But if you need, if you need to like do any kind of like a library stuff in Windows, that sucks. No reason to run Linux when FreeBSD exists. I mean, come on, let's just all run, you know. I don't know where I was going to go with that. I was sort of hoping I would figure something out. Like, let's all just run kernel development ourselves and write our own Linux. That's better. Spish Kairos, okay, you're going to head off. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope they have a great rest of your weekend. You'll let me know if you code a game like yours, if you have one in all right. Yeah, if you do, share it. I'd love to play it on stream. All right, so with this, we've got this last, this is done. So when deploying, pushing to master branch, we auto deploy to creates.io. So we've got that, which means we can now close you. And that's it. Like we can now say that this first part of the project is done. Now, I'm not done with BBECS. I want to continue to use it for like lots of more projects. And what I'm thinking of is going more and more complex projects, and that forces me to add and update BBECS over the long haul. So what will the next project be? Let's sort of like think about this. We've done a flocking simulator. We can sort of see what this looks like here, which is a bunch of entities that have like accelerations. It has, accelerations, velocities, locations, colors, sizes, and then they sort of move around the screen, and you have systems to update. That's all fine and good, but each entity has the exact same number of components, and each entity is never deleted, it's never removed. So I was thinking about like, what's like the next step up? Like what would change one thing to make it a little bit more complex? I'm thinking a game, maybe something like Asteroids. So if we think about what Asteroids is, We have a central player, which could look exactly like a Boyd. It could fire a bullet or a missile, laser. I'm not sure what you would call it like in space. A kinetic weapon of some kind. I don't know. It fires that out. And so you need to be able to add in a new entity, which would be the bullet. The bullet doesn't accelerate, so it doesn't have acceleration. Whereas the player has acceleration, so the bullet just fires at a constant speed out. The bullet will eventually, if it doesn't hit anything, it gets destroyed and deleted. So that way it doesn't like continue while flying forever. Then we have a bunch of asteroids. If the bullet hits the asteroid breaks into two, and then each of those can break into two until eventually they're really small, then they get deleted. So the asteroids don't have acceleration, so only the player has acceleration. So we're going to have different numbers of components. So how we're going to figure that out, I have no idea. But I do want, I think that this might be a great sort of like second step into this. Lots of problems to sort of solve with it. So for the rest of this stream, I usually end around 12, and we can see that it's 11:27 right now. I want to take about half an hour, and we can start planning out like what is that going to look like. And my new favorite planning system is this Envision freehand documents. It's like the best whiteboarding software that I've seen so far. I'm really, really happy. They keep on telling me that I should try freehand, and I literally have 3 freehands right here to go with. All right, so let's create new freehand. We're gonna name this Asteroids. Make this blank, and let's see if this is working with me. All right. No? You don't want to... do that. No? If I click... Here. Oh, that's weird. Don't need that then. Okay, so you're fine, but when I click and do that, okay. Cool, Wacom tablet. You're exactly what I wanted, how I wanted you to work. Every time I feel like there's some slightly different problem. Oh wait, do I have to click with the button on this? No. No. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. That looks terrible. I did not want to do that. That was not good. Yeah, let's not go there. I do not agree with that thing whatsoever. All right, let's take a look at Asteroids. Let's think about something fun. Asteroids is a game in which we have our window here like this. And we're going to have... well, I guess a bunch of these asteroids. So something like that. So we want them to be not just circular looking, but moving around the screen and sort of a random pattern. And then we're also going to want our ship probably to be a little triangle like that. And then we have the ability to pew pew with little bullets. When we hit one of these, it actually breaks them apart. So take you. So you actually get broken into smaller versions. that, which then float just away from each other. I don't know if there's like any rhyme or reason for how they float, but that's what it's going to work with. We have a score. Which maybe a score is, I'm thinking it's the number of asteroids that are destroyed or like hit. So maybe it can be like, you know, this person has 150, let's say. We're also gonna want like lives. So let's say we have 3 lives left. So if we put that over here like this, I don't know, maybe I want like over here. Something else with the asteroids, if you hit like the space bar, you disappear and reappear somewhere else. It's a teleportation. You can also hit like the up arrow and have like little rockets. I don't know if like that's what I want it to look like, but like it's moving forward. Like we're moving in that direction. So many components. I know there's going to be a lot of components in this one. Okay, so we can do this. That moves around. So how this works. So I guess like requirements. We can actually use stickies for this. Stickies are pretty cool. Okay, so requirements, we like display our score. Yes, that's the other thing is like I want to be able to add and remove entities. I think that's gonna be like the next big step. Okay, so we want 2 zoomed in. So we want to be able to display the score. Something else like we want to display the number of lives left, which means we need to track the number of lives left. That could be a resource though. All right, what else? We need to be able to like dynamically add all of these asteroids. So we also need like a level system, don't we? Like what level that we're on. It might be actually really nice to display the level that we're on. So like level like 5, let's say. Do that something down here. You know, looking at this, I'm not super happy with like having lives and like level be separated. I kind of want to put them all together over here. At the same time, I don't know if I like that. The other thing that I can do is we could say, all right, what if I do let's fill. What if I have you on the side here like that? Take you out and you go in here. And so then I could have like a title, Asteroids. So we can have like, okay, your score, the level that you're on. We can have like lives left down. We could have the lives left down here to make it like really easy to see how many lives we have left. Let's see, what else do we care about here? That way it doesn't get away of like the world that we're in. If we have a score, we should also have a high score. So something like that. And we can like reorder these however we want. But like we'll need some kind of interface that looks a lot better. So display the number of lives left, display then display let's see, what is this going to be? Like the name of the game. This would also be display the high score. Yeah, high score. I'm not going to do networking for this, so it's not going to be like networked across everyone who plays it, but like local to the system. Let's see, display our current score, display what level we're on. Okay, display our current level. Let's see. All right, so if that's like on the sidebar, what about the actual gameplay itself? We have, we want like a rocket ship. So we need a rocket ship. We want to be able to move the rocket ship. And so what does that mean? Like move the rocket ship, which is forwards and rotate left plus right. And that's pretty much it. Like we can move forwards, we can rotate, and then we can move forward that way. And it sort of like changes. It's an interesting movement in like all simulating space and microgravity. Once we move the rocket ship, okay, we want to display thrusters when moving forward. Okay, so that would be good there. We want to be able to fire the gun. So you can fire gun. There might be a limitation of the number of bullets that we can fire at any one time. I'm not sure if we want to do that. In the previous, like in the arcade cabinets of the game, you can only fire like what, 3? Oh, you can only fire so many before you can only have like so many active bullets. That might be something really good to sort of keep in mind too. Okay, so can fire gun, they're going to want to have like, how many bullets do we want to have exist? Let's just arbitrarily say that we can have 10 bullets on this screen at the same time. Then we'll just say like it takes reloading time. Like we have to reload between them. Then we're gonna have to say like bullets, everything wraps around the screen. So what does that mean here? If we have bullets, let's say we've been firing them in this direction. That means we will also have one of you will be like down here. And to make sure that we can never accidentally hit ourselves with a bullet, we need to cap like the bullets die. So bullets die after after like in frames or like traveling so far. Let's say that we have the bullets die after maybe like this distance, something like that. Now we could actually still kill ourselves, unless we make this a square. We have to like decide what the resolution is and like have it die right before it would hit our ship. So if we're shooting like that, it would die like right around here. Now that being said, I'm not going to do collision detection between the bullets and the player, so it won't really matter anyways. We won't be able to kill ourselves. Let's say bullets die after like, we could do like end frames, or we can do like distance traveled. Let's do traveling the distance of like the entire arena. So, it's a little bit vague because I haven't said like width or height. I think this is gonna be one of those things that we're gonna have to experiment on. So maybe we'll just say like, bullets die after some time. They don't just stick around forever. All right, so we have the wrap around the screen. We need asteroids. So asteroids travel around the screen. Shooting asteroids. Shooting asteroids breaks them apart. But then we can also, asteroids are destroyed when too small. Like asteroids can be destroyed. Okay. So that sort of like hits, the asteroids are there, we're playing the game, we shoot the asteroids, they break apart, we shoot them more, they break more apart, we shoot them more, they disappear forever. Okay, great. We gain score. So score increases based on asteroids shot and level. So then let's talk about the level. New level after all asteroids are destroyed. And then what's like the big difference? I don't think necessarily it's probably like a combination of each level increases in difficulty, right? So each level is like more asteroids plus speed each level. Okay. We also should be able to teleport. So, and teleport around the screen. Obviously, if you teleport into another asteroid, you just die immediately. So we need to handle like the death. So, player loses life when hit by asteroid. Maybe I'll just say when hit, because that's fairly generic. Okay, that sort of like feels like the basic core part of asteroids. I wonder like if I'm missing anything. I feel like there was a UFO in asteroids that every once in a while would fly through the screen and just shoot. Did it shoot randomly or did it shoot at the player? I don't remember. Let's take a look. If we do like YouTube asteroids. Let's not look at asteroids about to kill us. Arcade. Oh, you know what? What we've been missing from this is sounds. We need to make sure we capture that we're gonna have sounds in it. So, sound when shooting, hitting asteroid, like sound plays, sound while playing, like sound effects. Okay, let's take a look at this. I don't even know what those are supposed to be. I wonder if those are like glitch it. Oh no, that's the score. And that's the level. Okay. So that's how they do it. That's actually pretty nice. Oh, they have... Those come in right away, and these move really fast. Like this player shoots the UFO really, really quickly. Oh, there's little particles whenever you destroy. Okay, it does look like there was two UFOs. There are two UFOs. There was a UFO, like a bigger UFO that I think was just shooting randomly, and then a smaller UFO that was shooting at the player. Now, if we were to do that, if we were to like sort of redesign what this looks like, let's throw this over here. We don't need this like asteroids here. What we could have is, it was like 150 here for the score. We have like level 5 right here. And how many ships left right there? So that would be just taking this. I'll just draw it again. Like that. So looking at that, that's actually pretty simple. We can see, all right, there. So that we don't need any of this stuff then. Okay, which means we display the score, we display the number of lives left. So then this would be score there. Number of lives left is here. What are you doing? I don't want the fill. There. Display the name of the game. We don't actually need that. Display the high score. Having a high score at the end would maybe be really nice. That being said, I'm okay with this game not having like the high score. Like we're already gonna be complicated enough with just like the arcadey aspect of it. So we can just look at there and maybe do like a follow on and add that in. Current level. So that's gonna go here. Goes there. Obviously we have like the rocket ship. There's that. We have to move the rocket ship, which is kind of going to be that too. Display thruster. So here I'm going to just okay, can fire. So this is going to be these things. Everything wraps around the screen. So this is like a little bit more interesting to see, but kind of hard. Bullets die after some time. Asteroids travel around the screen. Obviously those. Shooting asteroids breaks them apart. That is that. Asteroids can be destroyed. So what would that end up looking like? We can have right, it was like these as they like fly apart. Like little particles. Score increases based upon asteroid shot and level. So that could be up here. New level after all asteroids are destroyed. Okay. Is there anything else that we really care about in this? Particle effects, yeah, I know. Although I may just create them as individual. Okay, there's no particle effects when the player got destroyed. I noticed that. It just disappeared and like started over again, and you start over in like the same exact spot that you were in. The particle effects are about destroying the asteroids. And the rest of this, I think, is going to be pretty simple. Just asteroids flying around. They get like a new velocity as they're going. Maybe it adds to the velocity that they're on. So probably like move off in a random direction. Oh, like all those things, I think like during it, we play around with it. Having the little UFO would be really, it would be really nice. I don't know if we could, like, we're gonna be able to get to it, but having a UFO. So UFO, once per level. I'll just say like UFO, yeah, once per level. We'll just say that. What does the UFO look like? Make this like, what does the UFO look like? I'll wait until the UFO comes back on, and we'll see. Where will you fit into blockchain, microservice, serverless AI in this project? I mean, he's got to go somewhere, right? I mean, that's a good question. We're gonna have to put all that stuff in here somewhere. You know, we're gonna have to make it so that we're gonna have to have like an advanced AI too. Because if this game doesn't like also have the possibility for taking over the world. Okay, this player has been playing for 10 minutes and never got past level 1. Is that what I'm seeing? Not the best representation. Oh, okay, there it is. So here's our UFO. It's like a little disc and then another disc. Hey, where's my mouse? Oh no! I think my mouse ran out of batteries, which is not the best. Let's see, can I use you? This is a backup mouse, but it's really not great as a mouse. All right, I'm glad I have it and that it has batteries. Okay. So we want like another one on top of here. And like there's like a flat thing. It's that looks wonderful, beautiful. It's the best UFO ever. Clearly. And this UFO is firing out too, towards the player, of course. We can actually have that. UFO fires towards the player. All right. I think we're gonna leave it for this game. Is this? It's already gonna be a pretty like it's kind of funny because like these arcade games, the very old arcade games, we think, oh man, they're gonna be pretty simple, right? There's not gonna be too much to do that, but look at all the requirements that we have, and this actually isn't for the real game because there would also be the start menu. There would be the high score screen, and then usually there's some like screensaver sort of device, like a traction device, where it like plays the game by itself to sort of like have something happening while nobody's playing it essentially. But I think if we go with this, I think we'll be good to go. So this is going to be the plan. Is our next project is going to be using the ECS that we're creating to build this. We're definitely going to be able to delete and have different level numbers of components, and that's going to require an update to the ECS system. But we'll get to that when we get to that. It is 12 o'clock, so I think I'm going to start winding down the stream too. So I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube video at this point. So the next one will be a completely different playlist, and we'll be starting with the